Hey everyone. I hope everyone is having a good morning. I am actually, let me fix this camera here, really excited. I woke up super pumped about this particular training on overcoming fear of rejection. And I think it's because lately we have, and this is, I'm just going to come right out with the real talk. We've been chatting with a lot of people who aren't making enough money in their business. And then I start like kind of freaking out because I want to be able to help all the people. And there are really two reasons why someone would not be making money in their business. The first one is not enough activity. And then the second one is that the activities that we are doing are not leading to actually solving people's problems. Remember, we don't sell products. Um, and your builders don't sell products. What we do is we build value for solutions, which people exchange. Right, the solution is what we're working toward, and this fear of rejection is a real thing. I've been doing some research. I'm a behavioral psychology nut, I guess is the right word. And I think that there's a lot of talk in the industry. If you guys are on live or catching the replay, make sure you say hi. There is a lot of research around rejection, but the industry is like, suck it up, do it anyway, feel the fear, do it anyways, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And this is ignoring the way our bodies and our minds are actually working or supposed to be working. So here's a couple fun facts. Number one, when our goodness is attacked, our body is hardwired to act defensively. Number two, the body registers social rejection in the same way as physical pain, which we are hardwired to avoid because, humans are communal creatures. And so, this network marketing myth, idea, shaming, whatever you want to call it, that you shouldn't care about what people think is just a bunch of biological nonsense. I said it. Now, do I think we need to just then give up? Absolutely not. Now, most of the people that are probably listening to this or watching this are women. 75% of network marketing is made of women. And books I read when I was in my 20s on the difference between men and women at work is, of course, a generalization. Men are concerned with status above relationships, women are concerned with relationships above status. So, generally speaking, men will choose a promotion even if it means losing their friends. Women will overlook a promotion if it means losing their friends. This is really important when we're looking at a network marketing business. And so, let me know if you guys can relate to what I'm talking about right now. Just jot like I can relate. I think that one of the things about our community that can be really, really powerful is the fact that we are not alone in the way that we are thinking. The speakers from stage, they're operating in 20-minute segments. I've worked with a lot of clients on writing stage speeches for conventions and best practices and stuff, and there isn't enough time to talk about like some of the real stuff, and we want to make sure we take the time to do that. So if you can relate to this idea that you can't just ignore fear of rejection, just write in the comments, I can relate. So what does rejection feel like? Now, for most people, rejection that they're talking about being afraid of is not like something like, go to hell, I hate you, never talk to you again. Like that assertive, aggressive rejection. Um, what rejection feels like more likely than not is someone not responding and things feeling up in the air. Rejection feels like no shows. A rejection also a lot of times is imagined, like reaching out to someone, giving them an offer and saying, no, thanks, I'm not interested. Sometimes a lot of it's in our head. And here's the logic flow that I think harms a lot of people psychologically. There's some truth to it, but it's taken too literal. This idea people buy things from people they know, like, and trust. What that means is if someone doesn't buy something, then that means they don't know, like, and trust you. That's a logical way a human mind would think. So we say people buy things from people they know, like, and trust. We're like, okay, that makes sense. So if this person knows, likes, and trusts me, then they will buy things. And that is not true. They have to have a problem set that your product line matches, and they have to understand the value of the thing and that the value of solving that problem is more valuable than the money in their pocket. That's what they need to understand. That's the agreement we're making. And so let's go through some. I'm gonna walk you through 10 proven strategies. They are concrete things you can adjust in the way you conduct business that will overcome this fear of rejection. If you guys are ready, just type ready to go, and we're gonna start. All right. I'm gonna put these up on the board so it's a little easier for you guys to follow along. Once I get to 5, you can take a screenshot, and then I'm gonna erase it, and then I'm gonna do 6 through 10, just so you guys can see this easier. Okay, number 1, put a pencil in your mouth. Now, here's something that you need to know about the way our brain works. When we are genuinely smiling, we are incapable of feeling fear. It actually shuts down whatever neural pathways are associated with fear. So if you're feeling nervous or fearful of something, a pencil like this, it'll trigger this muscle that sends a certain signal to your brain and says, don't be afraid. And it's physiologically impossible to be afraid. Now, when you use this when you're nervous about reaching out to someone that you know that you would answer this question to. If I wasn't afraid, would I include this person? But then you're still nervous, right? And there's a difference between nervous and that like ethical rub that you have. So what I'm talking about is when you're nervous. So when you're nervous, in my 20s, when I was first a direct sales leader, every time I would give a training, I would get so nervous. My nervous system would like freak out. And so I would actually take a pencil in the shower and just hold it there while I was taking a shower to get like help my body be able to cope with that. So number 1, put a pencil in your mouth. Number 2, have a don't pursue list. Don't pursue people who their disinterest would be a fatal blow to your activity, and they're actually like the way they are would be toxic to your situation. Like the people that are not worth it. You know, people's uplines will just say, reach out to everyone, you never know. And I think that that's true to an extent, but I'm sure there's a small sliver of people that you're like, I do not want to talk to them about this. I do not want to work with them. Now, this is different than the question of if I were not afraid, what would I do? But if you're like, if I wasn't afraid, I would not contact this person. I'm only contacting them because I'm afraid of doing the wrong thing. Then I want to give you permission that you are the owner of your own business. That's the whole point. And so if there are people that you don't want in your business and you don't want to pursue them, and it's not a win-win scenario because their disinterest would be harming to you or they would be unkind to you, I'm going to give you permission to not pursue them and to focus on the people that you actually do want to talk to. This leads me to number 3, increase outside networking. So when you start in network marketing, people will say, start off with the people you know and that you're comfortable with. And the reason this is the case is because it's easiest to build confidence. There's more forgiveness there. But it was never the intention that you should only operate on friends and family for the entirety of your business. And what happens is we end up putting pressure on our friends and family inadvertently because we're not meeting people outside of the people that we know. When we increase our outside networking, then we can be less attached to the outcome and the rejection doesn't sting as much. So let's say we have 50 friends and family that we have not yet invited, but that's the only 50. And you're like, oh my gosh, I have to, these people have to work out or else I'm out of business. Then that's kind of toxic, right? And so then the rejection feels more painful. And so we're just going to put that off. Um, because if hearing they're not interested means you're out of business versus them still being in the like available to you to reach out means you're still in business. But that's still not enough to, right? You see how like that would be hard. And so by attending vendor events, joining business networking groups, getting really, really good at getting referrals from people that you know or having them host is going to take away a lot of that pressure. And it's going to, you're not going to be so afraid of whether or not they are interested. Number 4, focus on problems and goals, not products. So your target market, the people that you want to talk to are people who have problems that your product solves that are specific and tangible in their life. Now, most products, network marketing products are like, oh, everyone needs it. And I do understand that that's true to an extent. I mean, when I was selling knives, everyone needs a good set of knives because everyone eats and everyone cuts. But the people that have the biggest problems are typically people with who are busy. They're typically people who have kids, so they're doing, twice or 3 times the amount of cutting as a normal person. And then they have means because they own a home. When you are operating and you are inviting and including people who have the tangible problems and goals that your product line solves, in addition to them being employed, then they're just more likely to get a yes response, which I think is really, really helpful. The 5th thing here, and let me know if this is helpful. I'm curious, for those of you that are watching, well, I'll get to 5, and then I want to know which ones are your favorites. So number 5, when inviting, stop, sorry. I know, it's probably annoying to watch me erase. Stop making it personal. Okay, so here's an example of what I mean by that. People will say things like, do you want to look at my products? Or, can you help me? Or would you like to be on my team? That is a personal question. It's basically like, do you love me enough to do this thing? Now, what if they don't have the problems and goals, right? Or they're not willing, right? They don't understand the value, or the solution is not compelling enough for them to exchange their money for it. That doesn't change just because they care about you. We don't want to run our business that way. And I made this mistake a while back when we were doing a promo. I was like, do you want to enroll in this mastermind at this discount? And then people were like, either didn't respond, because how do you say no to that politely? Or they were like, no, thanks. And then I was like, what? Like, not even at a discount? And it hurt my soul so much. It was like devastating. But what I realized is it was actually my language that was the problem. And most of the next few tips are going to be about the words that we say, that make this that makes us more prepared, less fearful. So I shifted it to, hey, we're having a special right now. Do you want to know the details? And so instead of saying, do you want to do my mastermind? That is a personal invitation, versus do you want to know about the special, impersonal? The special is not the same as me. Their yes or no didn't hurt me. And which means I could be a lot more inclusive. So as you guys are watching this, here's what I would love to know. out of these 5, which one or 2, and you can just put like number 2 and number 4, did you find the most helpful? Okay, so number 5, I make it personal. All these are great. Okay, cool. So let me know 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. You can put multiple. Because whatever is the highest score, I'm gonna make a TikTok video on. Because that's a thing I do now. All right, here we go. This is going down. Clear all. All right, let's do 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A lot of these are going to be in the language category. We can have good intentions, but if our language does not accurately represent our intentions, they do not exist. We speak things into existence. So if my husband loves me, but doesn't listen to me, it doesn't matter how much in his soul he knows he loves me. If he doesn't actually demonstrate that with his language, it's not real to me. And so we have to do better. We can't just be like, but I'm a good person and I have good intentions. We have to do better. We have to improve our communication skills. So, number 6, use inclusive language. Okay, so I'm a big fan of events. So sometimes you'll talk to people. A lot of times I get the question of, if I'm just talking to people about nothing, how do I make it about my product? You don't. Stop it. If they have a problem that they bring up and you have a potential solution, then you can invite them to a one-on-one conversation, talk about their problems and solutions, and they'll probably be up for that. But if they don't, you can't really turn a conversation into one about your products. That's not very authentic. So just leave them in the wings, and write them down as possible invites. So then let's say once a month you do events. Let's say you sell skincare and you're going to do an event on anti-aging. And what and your target market is between the ages of 45 and 55, or 40 and 55, let's say. And so what you might do is you might look at your list and say, who are all the women that are between ages 40 and 55 that might care about this? And then what I would do is I would reach out to them and say, hey, it was so nice talking to you the other day. I'm doing this thing for my business that I thought might be right up your alley. We're going to talk about anti-aging strategies for women that are between the ages of 40 and 55. And I just wanted to make sure that you were included. Instead of like something else. I don't know what people say other than that. But I want to make sure you are included is about generosity and inclusion. Nobody wants to be excluded. They want to be the ones to say yes or no. And so using the phrase, I want to make sure you're included, explains why you're reaching out to them. All right, number 7, adopt the would you like fries with that strategy. Okay, and I'm going to show you. I want you guys to write, I'm going to show you this. And just write flowchart if you want to download this doc that I'm about to share with you. So I'm going to switch my screen share real quick. Let me know if you see a flowchart right now that says recruiting conversation right in the middle. Let me make this a little bit smaller. Okay, just like, and if you guys want a copy of this so you can print it, this is how a recruiting system works. Okay, you guys can see it. Great. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to get as many recruiting conversations as possible. And a lot of network marketers, they will be like, I need to just recruit people. This week I need to find a builder. I'm like, what does that even mean? Find a builder. That would be like a McDonald's person saying, all right, today I need to sell some fries. They don't do that. That's not how it works. What we want to do is we want to insert, right? At McDonald's, each employee at the end of every order will be like, would you like fries with that? Or if you go to a restaurant, they'll say, would you like dessert? It is just part of their job. When I worked at Blockbuster Video, it was like, would you like to join the reward program and get a free movie today? It's just part of the job, right? And so this is why I call it my would you like fries with that strategy. So when someone is at the appointment, let's say they decide to buy something. You say, okay, well, I don't want to make any assumptions. Would you like to know how to earn money or income with like company? You can see I'm also using tip number 5, and I'm also just adopting a would you like fries with this, right? At a retention appointment, we'll say, let's make a wish list. And by the way, most people want to know about the money. Is that sort of the same for you? Here's the gist of how it works. Just doing my job, ma'am. Just want to make sure you know. And then you can make your own decision, right? A customer outreach. So each of these points, you have language that is basically like, would you like fries with that? Instead of making it this big thing, the bigger we make it, the more devastating it is. My kids always tease me about this story. Oh, by the way, if you guys want a copy of this flow chart, just type flow chart and we will get a link over to you. So my kids tease me about the story. There's this guy named Josh in high school that I was obsessed with from afar for years. It took me like 2 years to muster up the courage to talk to him. And finally, one summer, my dad through the hospital was able to get a bunch of Disneyland tickets. My friend wanted to go with her boyfriend, and I was left dateless. And I was like, this is a great opportunity to include this handsome guy. But I had built it up in my mind so much over 2 years that what ended up happening is he got a girlfriend over that summer that I obviously didn't know about because it was summer. And the rejection, it wasn't really rejection. He was just like, I have a girlfriend, sorry, right? But it was so devastating and so painful. But if I would have just used a would you like fries with that mentality, it wouldn't have stung so much. I wouldn't have been so upset about it. All right, let's go back to my little thing here. Window. All right. Let me know if you can see 6, 7, 8, and 9. All right. So would you like fries with that strategy? That is number 7. Number 8, give people a reason. Right? Social psychology shows that all you have to do is give a human a reason and use the word because, and their likelihood that they will give you a positive response increases tremendously. So if all you do is say, would you like, I would love, I think you should come to this event on anti-aging because it's going to be fun. Now, you might say that's not very compelling, but what the psychology says is just giving a reason, saying, do this thing because this other thing, they're more likely to respond positively, and you'll actually minimize rejection. Rejection, I'll put that in quotes because I don't think that people actually reject us in the way that we think. All right, let me know if this is helpful for you guys. To go through this. It's more thorough than a lot of the videos I do. All right, I got 6 minutes. We're gonna do 9 and 10. Give them an option for a polite no thank you. So one of the biggest forms of perceived rejection is what we would call ghosting. Which I don't love using that word because I don't think you would want anyone to, I don't think we should use words that other people, like if other people use them on us, we would be offended by, right? So if someone said to you, you ghosted me, like that would be offensive to you. So let's like stop using that word, but this is the way that most people describe it, right? So they don't respond. And so it might be something like, it's usually a direct ask, like, would you like to come to this thing? Most people don't even do that. I get added to Facebook groups all the time without even a message on why they're adding me. Super annoying. I'm going to say no, right? If they were at least to and I can't take requests from our audience, right? I'm a network marketing trainer, so I can't get involved in other people's product pitches. But let's say I was available to do that. What would need to happen is someone would need to say something like, hey, I have this group. I thought it might be right up your alley. I want to make sure you're included so you can see how we're using all of this. Um, if you want to join, just hit accept. And if you don't want to, no big deal. I just wanted to make sure you were included. So when you give someone two choices, you can say yes or you can say no. It's no big deal. A couple things happen. Number one, you get more amount of people that say yes just because you have two choices. Because they feel empowered, right? They don't feel pressured. The other thing that will happen, I think most of us are okay with a no thank you. I'm not interested. What is more hurtful is when someone doesn't respond. And the reason they don't respond is they are not professional boundary holders, right? We are professional communicators, they are not. So they have not likely been trained to take an ask and turn it into a polite no thank you unless they are also in sales, which is probably not the people you're talking to. And so I think it's really helpful to say something like, if this is something that you want to do or you want to know about, let me know. And if not, also let me know. It's totally okay, right? I don't want things to be awkward. Now you have a reason. So give them an option for a polite no thank you, then you'll be less scared because you'll know where things are. You're on the same page. The 10th key does have to do actually with your mindset and the way you approach your day. We all know that we only get paid when sales are made. And so we might wake up and be like, we need to sell something today. In fact, I have a mug here. This is kind of an older one. It says, today's to-do list, stop crying, drink coffee, call someone, sell something. And that's true, but there's a step that's in the middle there, and it's find problems. As business owners, I guess we're professional salespeople, but professional salespeople, which I am proud of being, we are not selling stuff just to sell stuff. What we actually are, I think, is we are professional problem finders. So when I talk to someone, I am just like a detective. Like, do you have problems? Let's find out what your problems are. I'm trying to find problems. Once I find a problem, then I can potentially offer a conversation to solve the problem if they're open. And of course, I'm going to say, if you're open to talking about that, great. And if not, no big deal. I had a conversation with a leader yesterday who's awesome. I didn't know what the conversation was going to be about. She knows a friend of mine. And I guess she had already in her mind thought, I want to work with this person, but I didn't know that. And so I was like, I just thought we would get to know each other. And if there are problems that we can help each other solve, great. And that's it. We're problem finders. And then hopefully our solution is a good fit for them. And if we go about each day and we say, today I'm going to find 3 problems, or I'm going to help 3 humans with problems, that's just a much better mindset to not be afraid of rejection. As opposed to, do they want to buy my stuff? Kind of going back to the know, like, and trust factor. So these are 6 through 10. Use language like, I want to make sure you're included. Would you like fries with that strategy? Give people a reason, give them an option for a polite no thank you, and find problems as you go to start your day. So I'm curious if you guys are watching this. Out of 6 through 10, I want to hear your vote. Like I said, I'm going to make a TikTok video for the top votes. Because TikTok is a thing I'm doing right now poorly. Also, I want to let you know, imperfect action beats perfect action every time. Let me know, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10. Which one is your favorite? We have a vote for number 10. We have votes for number 2 and number 5. Would love to hear what your votes are. And as we wrap up, I just want to give you this idea that we all might have good intentions, but we do have to prove it. Our goodness is only evident in our communication. And so what we need to do to overcome fear of rejection is we need to stop trying to do like bend our mind. What we actually need to do is look at our sales process and say, are my words personal? Are they inclusive? Am I giving choices to people? Do I give agendas? Am I like an actual, like, not why, but why? Is the way I'm communicating, building trust, compassion, stability, and hope? Am I giving people an opportunity to bow out gracefully? If not, that's why the rejection stings so much, because deep down you feel bad about it. I think a lot of people will say, don't trust, your instinct, just do it anyway. Um, and guys, we're grown-ups. We have to trust ourselves to an extent, but here's the difference. When I know something I'm doing doesn't quite feel right. Now, I'm not talking about nervous, right? So when you ask yourself, if I wasn't afraid, would I do this thing? Right? When I'm nervous, the answer is yes. When something's off, ethically or relationally or something, I kind of know, like, this is off. Then what I need to do, let me tell you the honest to God truth, is I need to ask an expert. The other day, I couldn't figure out what to say in a certain situation. I asked my business partner, Karen. I will ask my business coach, Heather. I will ask someone that isn't stuck in the middle of it, right? Or my friend, Jenna. Like, I have people that are also experts in communication that I can turn to. And I think that's really, really important. And so are, if you or a team member are like, do struggle with this fear of rejection, I don't think the answer is just like, get over it, do more, because you're just going to withdraw. I think the answer is to skill up. So if you want to put rejection behind you, if you want to have clear sales processes that are actually effective, where you get more yeses than nos, and you know how to convey yourself without making it personal, if you want all of that, what I want you to do is I want you to write down in the comments, mastermind, or send me or Karen a message that says, hey, I'm interested in the details in your mastermind. If you don't want to do it, that's fine. It's not a big deal, but we want to make sure you're making most informed decision. And so hopefully you see what I did there. And that's all for today. So top 10 tips, quick review for those of you that are still around. Number 1, put a pencil in your mouth. Number 2, have a don't pursue list. Number 3, increase outside networking. Number 4, focus on people with the problems and goals that your product meets and are open-minded and nice. Number 5, when inviting, stop, make it personal. Ask, do you want to know the details versus do you want to be on my team? Number 6, use inclusive language. I want to make sure you feel included. Number 7, would you like fries with that system? Number 8, give people a reason. Use the word because. Number 9, give them an option for a polite no thank you. Number 10, instead of trying to sell things, find problems instead. We're so grateful that you decided to come here and have a pretty lengthy conversation about this fear of rejection. If you guys are watching this in a group and you want to invite your team members in and then tag them, just know that if you're tagging your team members and you're in a group, they need to be members of the group. So make sure that they get into that as well. Let me know if you guys have any questions or scenarios that you want help with. You can put them in the chat, and hopefully we'll talk soon. Have a great day.